Hello everyone and welcome back to From Our Basement Gaming.
Hey everybody.
We are back with part 36 of our Ecco the Dolphin Defender of the Future Let's Play.
36 parts.
I know, this is probably going to be one of our longest.
Yes.
It probably will be our longest when we actually complete it.
Yeah.
In the distant future. No, it might not be very distant, but...
Sorry everyone.
No apologies.
Thanks.
I think even if we weren't getting stuck, this would still be a very long playthrough.
Right.
Let's play, I mean. Because it is a long game from what we peaked at.
Yes.
I think somebody who played it perfectly all the way through took about 7.5 hours.
One guy I saw played it for 6 hours, so I have no idea what he did.
Maybe he skipped some backtracking, who knows.
Could be.
Or maybe the one who did it in 7.5 hours made a few mistakes. I don't know.
Either is possible.
But I'd say we might already be past that.
Yeah, 36 times 30 for 30 minutes. That time the spikes killed me.
Yeah.
Kevin's doing math.
I know, watch out.
Yes. Well,
I
he tries. He does the best that he can. Owing to the circumstances.
So I divided it by 2. And that's 18. So
18? Yeah, we've been playing this game for roughly 18 hours.
At the end of this, it'll be 18 hours.
Almost a day, ladies and gents. That's how hard it was. And part of it was technical issues on our end because...
Yeah.
We ran into the problem of... the tint on our television was off, and that screwed everything up for a couple parts.
Yeah. And yeah, so the singer of Rammstein, Till Lindemann.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I mess up your last name all the time. I kind of doubt you'll be watching this, but who knows?
True.
My apology. But anyway, he was shortlisted for the 1980 Olympic swimming, but apparently did not continue because of an injury.
That's sad.
That was where the swimming part was. But he had confessed. It sounded like it was more like something his parents got him into doing because he was, in the swimming school when he was younger and was very good at swimming. It was really something his parents had him do, and he said when you're a kid you don't really object.
Gotcha.
But he found it he found it very strict.
I imagine so.
But that kind of explains his physique, the fact that he was swimming. He's a very built guy.
Right.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yes. Very good eye candy.
Yeah, considering in most of the concerts he's shirtless.
I imagine it gets hot on stage.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense that he's shirtless because they do technician stuff. Pyrotechnics. there was one incident in the 90s when part of the stage fell, and a few people got injured, but it wasn't too serious. And he actually stopped the performance and helped out and asked if everyone was okay.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a story of... I'm thinking of a story from Van Halen's where they had a part of their contract which a lot of people would admit that a lot of people thought they were just being melodramatic, but it was actually a strategic thing that they put in the contract to make sure that they read the whole thing, because they also had a stage accident. So the thought was if they read the whole thing, then they would know to make sure that the thing was set up right. Otherwise, they would have to send their people to do the proper work to make sure that it doesn't fall apart.
Yeah. Supposedly they had to get a certificate, which makes sense, in order to learn how to do that stuff safely.
Right.
So really it was a freak accident, but I think this did happen in America, and I don't know if this was the incident that caused them to be banned for a while, but I do know Rammstein was banned from performing in the U.S. for a little while.
That's awful.
Yeah, I know. It really sucks. And so I think that No, they must have done a few concerts before the one we went to in the U.S., but it was one of only a few they had done because they had the band. I don't know if it was that or if it was just the U.S. decided they... Okay, that was weird. Did you hear the door?
The thud?
Yeah.
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah, that was that door.
That door?
Uh-huh. Creepy. But anyway, if this is the last video we ever do... No, I'm kidding.
I hope not.
I hope not either. I'm just joking. It's probably the humidity. But anyway.
And I thought it was the TV at first.
The second thud was the TV. The first one was the door. That's why I freaked out. But anyway, it might have just been that the United States decided they didn't want bands doing the pyrotechnics just to be safe. I don't really know. I'll have to do more research to find out if it was just Rammstein specifically or if it was bands that do pyrotechnics.
That's something I'm curious about that too.
Yeah. Because, I mean, either one sounds plausible.
Yes.
If I really wanted to get, into conspiracy territory, I could argue that the pyrotechnics is an excuse to keep them out because they had that anti-American song. But I would certainly hope that's not the case.
I hope not either. If so, then that would explain a few things, like why there was so much Hillary Duff and Sweet Life of Zack and Cody being shoved down our collective eyes.
Connor is not a Disney Channel.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I know I'm probably going to get canceled by the Disney Channel fans. I know you're there, and I know that you can be vicious.
To be fair, I'm sure neither of us were really the target demographic for Lizzie McGuire.
Correct. I know I wasn't.
Yeah, I really wasn't either. And I'm not a big fan of her shows. But some of the problem is just that she seemed like she was playing the same character.
She was.
But, anyway, I did like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I did not
interesting.
like the sequel as much. The sequel didn't. It had some okay episodes, but it didn't quite have that same magic that the first show had.
On deck.
Yeah, and some of it might have been, characters were older now, and the actors were older now. The
Yeah.
characters, I guess, were older too, but the humor didn't really grow up any with them.
The characters were a little bit older, a little bit more complex,
Yeah.
and London, Paris had a brand new blonde pet to feed.
Now you're gonna be cancelled by the Sweet Life fans.
I'm sorry.
You're gonna have an angry mob going after you. Especially London Tipton fans.
London Tipton, that's her name.
London Paris.
I'm sorry.
That sounds like if they did a SNL sketch of the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, she would be named London Paris.
Yes. Yes, or Rome Holiday, or Berlin Hotel.
Rome Holiday would be kind of hard considering there is a certain rapper who already has a character named Roman Holiday.
Roman Holiday?
Yes.
本当にです.
The alter ego of Nicki Minaj.
Holiday was her last name?
Uh-huh. I think so. I can
Really?
double check, but I believe so. Yeah.
I'm starting to... The gears are starting to go in my mind, I have to be honest.
You're like, oh, now I get it.
I'm kind of getting a few things, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd have to probably learn more about her as an actress to understand more, or more about her in general. I only just casually listened to some of her music on Spotify.
Gotcha.
And I enjoyed the Roman Holiday album. It was actually fairly decent. Some of it was a little weird, but...
Well, that sort of thing is up with, of course, with some music.
Yeah.
Is Bedrock on that album?
I don't think that was Nicki Minaj.
I don't think so either.
So I would say no.
Even though Nicki Minaj was featured in that song.
Yes, she's been featured in like a billion different songs.
Yes.
That woman has cameoed everywhere. I admire that.
Yeah, same here.
Well, all the notable
Yes.
places. But yeah. So yeah, anyway, yes. Yeah, I'll have to look into finding out if it was because of pyrotechnics or just because of Rammstein.
True.
I found out about Rammstein because of my German teacher. I think she was trying really hard to be with the cool kids by playing a controversial band like Rammstein.
Ah, well, she got us addicted.
Yeah. And it, there were some not appropriate for school songs on that album, and she was foolish enough to tell the kids that there was a song on there that wasn't appropriate, and so one of my classmates kept getting up and changing the CD to that song.
Is it the one about the cat or the one about the...
It's the one about doing a certain activity that adults like to do.
Oh. Named after a cat?
This was long before the song you were thinking of.
Oh, so this is before...
This was in high school. My high school German teacher.
In that case, I'm fresh out of ideas what this song could be.
It's the one where they came out to the stage in leather. I think you get it now. But yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You hate?
No.
No.
You probably should. I can't tell you the title because I probably can't see it.
That's fair.
I can tell you after.
Kevin will have to tell me off screen.
Maybe you forgot about this.
I think I did.
Yeah, okay. It's alright. To be fair, it was from their second album. Yes.
So caught.
But I remember I did not like... My German 1 classmates were great. German 2 classmates were a bunch of jerks, other than like the one guy from German 1, from my German 1 class who was in German 2. All the other people were new kids that were probably from a different block of the German 1 class. Because she spent a lot of the time disciplining them because they acted out.
Such naughty boys.
But most of them, other than the one guy I mentioned who was from my German 1 class, were animately against Rammstein, and I don't know if they were saying mean things about them because I like Rammstein.
I hope not, otherwise they're the most malicious evil people that walk on the face of this earth.
Yeah, and they were making themselves out to be racist just for that, so I'm thinking they actually did not like Rammstein. Because,
I'm afraid to ask what music they like to listen to.
they were insistent, and am I allowed to say this word? They were insistent that Rammstein were,
oh, you mean related to that bad guy who took over Germany once upon a time?
yeah,
Okay.
in his party. And this is actually very sad because this is something that a lot of Americans assumed about this band, and it's all because they do not understand the band at all. And it's very sad to me, like, you know, in all the German interviews, I hope you guys like reading about Rammstein because I'm just going into Rammstein Wonderland. But anyway, in the German interviews, they talked about, like, the symbolism and meaning behind their albums and the songs and the music videos. You know, lots of cool, relevant stuff that I want to hear. In one of the earliest English interviews I found a snippet of, it was very heartbreaking to me that the first thing Till says is, we're not
the bad
that
guys.
part. We're not the bad guys, yes. And that just broke my heart because I'm like, I know they speak English very well, so it's not that, you know. And it just broke my heart. And obviously, there are a ton of American fans that don't think that way, that they know. You know,
Yeah.
I would hope so. But, yeah, when you really get to know the band, not only are they not the bad guys, but they are constantly giving the middle finger to people similar to the bad guys.
Yeah, they hate these guys.
Yeah, and I think they're just a typical heavy metal band that covers dark subjects, like most heavy metal bands.
They're certainly better than the Sex Pistols, who deliberately wore that stuff to anger people and hurt people's feelings.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very uncool move for that punk band.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just they have a dark sense of humor. and so they do a lot of ironic humor.
Yes.
And sometimes I wonder if that's kind of what David Bowie was trying to do with some of his controversial characters.
I have a sneaking suspicion he was.
And everybody freaked out because we thought he was supporting it.
Yeah.
And then maybe he just blamed drugs.
He did later admit that he was doing a lot of really heavy amounts of drugs, and he was not in a good emotional place, and it drove him into
Paranoia.
a really ugly situation.
But I knew that, David Bowie always played characters.
Yeah.
And, from somebody else who, likes to perform, I can say that, obviously not all characters are good guys. And so sometimes we portray evil people. And it doesn't mean we are evil or that we agree with evil. And I think most people understand that, but there are some people who are like, well, if you don't agree with it, why would you portray that?
Yeah.
And there are a myriad of reasons, really. But depending on the situation.
Right. Similar to when I'm playing a strategy game and do that stuff.
Right, I would certainly hope people who play wartime strategy games and, conquer the entire world, I would certainly hope that they, I would think that they don't have the desire to do that in,
Real life.
In real life, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm a pacifist.
Me too. All about the peace and love.
Yes. As Ringo Starr famously quoted as well. Peace and love.
Yes. I think, and it's the same with authors who, write about dark stuff.
Yeah.
Someone was saying it's a safe outlet to experience things we would never ever do in real life.
Right.
But
that's how I treat these computer games.
Yeah, I think everybody, no matter how upstanding we are as an individual, we do have those, like, that dark curiosity, I think. And it's not something, it's difficult to explain. It's not something we really want to do or want to experience, but it's a curiosity that I think a lot of, I don't experience it very much, so that's why it's hard for me to explain it. I only have like little small pieces of it, like some of the characters I made, but for the most part, I don't experience it. But I believe it's just like a way to vent, I guess.
Yeah.
When you're like a really peaceful person who would never, take it out in real life.
Right.
I guess that's the best way I can put it.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you just want to experience something outside of yourself. Be somebody who's not you at all. That's one of the best parts of acting. Of course, you can act as a character that's similar to yourself, and you have to kind of find a similarity to make it believable. But I think part of the fun thing about acting, and especially voice acting, you can be anything, any kind of person, any kind of creature, and experience, experience being somebody other than yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I've always, from a very young age, had this strong curiosity, like, what is it like as somebody else? The way I experience my world, what's the same and what's different?
Yeah.
You know, the objects that I see, do they look the same to somebody else? It's that thing that, some people have experiences so totally different from your own. And that, there's a word for it, somebody was talking about it. That frustration in knowing that you never will 100% know. With all lights... Oh, it's okay. I don't know. With all nights. With all lights united, the crystals in one place, a new way of passage will open for you. They still talk so weird, so like unnecessarily poetic.
Yes, they do.
I mean, I like poetry, but I kind of think it would be more practical for the Atlanteans to leave messages in plain old language.
Common English?
Common English.
Yeah, that's what I would have done.
Whatever. Because the messages weren't like that in the first two games.
Yes.
They were very
Clear and yellow, you got juice there, fellow. I think that was a reference to the show. I think it's something about apple juice.
Okay. That sounded really weird.
Yeah, it did sound weird.
Corner line.
Sorry about that, ladies and gents. The part about apple cider was weirder.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And you give him a weird look, and it's like, I was talking about apple juice. Jeez, what were you thinking of?
Yeah, that'd be funny if that happened in the show. Would they be still saying about Flandersization? Oh, The Simpsons.
I'm sorry, guys. I never got into The Simpsons.
That's okay.
The whole Homer strangling part.
Yeah, I remember the commercials that heavily showed that.
Heavily made me not want to watch the show.
I don't blame you.
Any show to me that jokes about child abuse, I don't care if he quote unquote deserved it or whatever. By the way, no child deserves child abuse.
Right.
And second of all, I just don't find that stuff funny.
True, it isn't. Right?
And I realize it's not the only joke in the show, and it probably has stuff that maybe now would make me laugh. But it's just that was a prominent feature in the ads. Really made me not want to get into it.
So what was the real reason they all cry about wishing to see the old Simpsons?
Characters were, from what I heard, characters were becoming Flanderized.
Yes.
Which is unfortunately inevitable with shows that have been on for a very, very long time.
Yes.
The original, I don't know, if this show has all the original writers, or some people probably negatively left.
Yeah.
And new people came
The Simpsons is as old as I am as a standalone TV series.
But I don't know. I mean, look at Family Guy. That really went downhill. Sorry, guys. Sorry to the fans of Family Guy.
Are you
current season.
Are you gonna get canceled by the fans of the current Family Guy season?
Maybe, but I mean, it kind of has been a little bit up and down. There was one point where it really went down.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
And we are actually out of time again.
Oh dear.
I know, we get into conversations again.
Yes, we do.
Alright, well guys, I guess we will figure out this maze next time.
That we will.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yes.
Alright, so see you next time.
See you too, everybody. Bye.